Hi, my name is Blake Rizzo. I'm a senior majoring in cinema media studies, a teacher's assistant for the animation capstone, and I started a film production club on campus called Lux. And this is my Husky 100 application video. I've always wanted to write and direct films. Through filmmaking, I feel like I can be all of me. Around 4th grade, I started making Lego stop-motion animated films in my backyard, and eventually I transitioned from Lego films to live-action films. This is also where I discovered visual effects and CGI. I realized that I could build with reality in the film the same way I did with Legos, and that allowed me to tackle more ambitious stories. I continued directing short films all the way through high school. I led my high school's broadcasting department and showed my short films to the entire school every week. As high school graduation approached, I was applying to colleges. I applied to USC, UCLA, Western, WSU, and UW, and really wanted to go to a film school. I didn't get into a film school. So I went to the University of Washington, a school that doesn't have a film production major. It was in that moment I knew I'd have to create my own path in order to create a life in the film industry. The question is, how? How do you pursue film at UW? There are two things I need to do for this to work. One, I needed to make films that challenged me. And two, I need to make a club. And on the first week of class, freshman year, I started the process of creating Lux, a film production club where you can meet people and make films. The name was inspired from our first project, a short film I wrote, directed, edited, and did visual effects on called Lux. This film has challenged me to this day. I swear it's almost done. Our first meeting had around 30 people from mainly my dormitory floor, but sometimes it dropped down to just 2 people, but we kept going. Now, for the longest time, I didn't know my major, not to the end of my 3rd year of college. But it was a tough question because the beautiful thing about film is that it combines STEM and art through storytelling, and films can be inspired from anything. So how do you fit that into a major? These first 2 years were some of the most stressful, and I felt completely lost, and time was ticking. However, while taking intro coding class, I learned about a class series called the Animation Capstone, a class where you spend a year making a 3D animated film. I immediately didn't care what my major was, I needed to take this class. I applied and got accepted into the animation capstone for my sophomore year, and was so excited. It was also the summer after freshman year that I started shooting my film Lux in Oregon. As sophomore year started, I began the animation capstone. It was in this class that I found what I wished all of college was like. I was spending my credited class time doing stuff that helped me move towards my dreams with peers that shared the same dream as I do. After I finished my sophomore year, I was offered a TA position for the capstone. I would get a chance to teach the class. However, upon finishing my capstone with sophomore year, I still didn't know what I was going to major in. UW didn't have an animation major. I TA'd over the summer for animation, but when it came to fall quarter of junior year, I took the quarter off to find out what I was going to major in or if I was going to transfer. I continued to commute in from Kent every day to TA for animation and then worked on my film, Lux, during the nights at home. I ended up coming back to UW, but I was still very unsure. It wasn't until I met Jennifer Bean, the head of the Cinema Media Studies department, and showed her my film Lux that she offered to give me credit for my filmmaking through an independent study. It was in that moment that I realized that if I could get credit, so could others. We built a community of student filmmakers that was rising fast, and I could build the thing that I wanted as a freshman, which is accredited student-motivated filmmaking class. In the fall quarter of senior year, I made a credited independent study film with the support of my club and the cinema studies major called Illusion of Life. At this point in the club, we had over 104 plus members coming to meetings, and we were making 4 to 6 productions per quarter. The club created a community that inspired people to start pursuing filmmaking. The success of the independent study in the club resulted in the creation of a visual storytelling filmmaking class where I and 7 other students would get credit to make films as well. And using the skills I've learned as a TA and all my 10 plus years of self-studying filmmaking, I'm helping people make their films both in my club, as a TA, and in this class. From not getting into a film school to co-creating a filmmaking class, I want to create things that build people up, whether it's films or clubs. If I get an opportunity, I try to bring someone up with me. It's about creating a community that supports each other. That is my Husky 100 experience.